Okay, I'm Jay Fallon, and this is Aussie Police Watch. And of course, Aussie Police Watch, I'm going to do a story that's not from Australia. If you don't know my background, I was formerly a police officer with the Queensland Police Service, doing obviously general duties work, and then I moved into covert physical surveillance for quite a number of years before getting out of the police service. So that's part of my background. So I wanted to do this story even though it's not from Australia, because I think it just highlights the attitude that police can get, young police officers can get, and I saw kind of this similar attitude. But this poor fella has got himself into a lot of trouble, and it could have been very easily avoided. Let's check out the story. Okay, so a cop was arrested at a Disney World resort. Alabama police officer is arrested at this Disney World resort on a kidnapping charge. That's not good if you're a police officer and you get in charge with kidnapping. Just FYI. So, after a 21-year-old was found handcuffed in the back of his car following a house party. So, police officer David Cunningham, 22, was off duty but wearing his Pritchard PD badge. Just so deputies with the Harrison County Sheriff's Office discovered a 21-year-old man in the back seat of the patrol car who was handcuffed. It all stemmed after an incident on May 24 when deputies responded to a shooting on Audubon Lakes Boulevard, Mississippi. They discovered that the homeowner's dog had been accidentally shot at a house. Now, anyway, as the owner of two dogs, I think this is the saddest part about the story. The dogs got shot. Anyway, so it was shot at the party, and the person who was allegedly responsible had left in the back seat of a Pritchard police vehicle. Now, the way I understand it, Pritchard police are not in the same state or the same area as this boulevard in Mississippi. So this is the chap here, Cunningham. This is the police officer. He's basically operating outside of his jurisdiction. Investigation revealed that Cunningham, that's this fellow up here, went to the house in his patrol unit, so his car, after getting a phone call from the party. When he arrived, he saw the man arguing with the homeowner, so he handcuffed him, put him in the patrol car, and left the scene.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Well, now listen, if you if you're a police officer, if you're a new police officer or you're at the academy, okay, and you go somewhere and you are out of your jurisdiction, seriously, if I was you, I would be, unless it's like a life-threatening situation, I'd be putting my head, closing my eyes, putting my head down and walking away. Seriously, if you're out of your jurisdiction, unless someone's life is in imminent danger, forget about it. Anyway, a warrant was issued for Cunningham for kidnapping due to the cop being out of state with no enforcement powers. You got to make sure that you got the powers to do the things you want to do, and detaining an individual and removing him from the scene. Cunningham was arrested at the Disney World Resort. He was charged with one felony count of kidnapping. Now, you're a police officer. That is not the kind of charge you want. Kristen Allen his passenger, Kristen Allen of Gulfport, was charged with one felony count of hindering prosecution. Officials say she helped Cunningham with creating multiple versions of events to justify his unlawful actions and detention of the individual. So he's 22. How does he end up with a chick in a car, Kristen Allen, who looks like she's in her 40s somewhere and looks like this? He's a 22-year-old male. What the heck? Allen was arrested on the warrant after turning herself in at the Harrison County. On June 3rd, Cunningham was arrested on a warrant by the Orange County Sheriff's Office in Orlando, Florida. He was held on a $500,000 bond. Wow. I tell you what, if they are holding him, if he's being held on a half a million dollar bond, you know they are trying to make an example of this fella. They they are going to throw him to the wolves. Anyway, I actually feel sorry for this fella now because they're going to throw him to the wolves. Pritchard police released a statement this week saying They are aware of Cunningham being involved in the incident and said they are awaiting an investigative report. They've already made up their mind. That's what's happened. So they're awaiting this report from the Harrison County Sheriff's Office to gain a clearer understanding of the circumstances. It's been brought to our attention that Cunningham was operating a city vehicle across state lines at the time of the incident, which is a potential violation of department policy. So they've initiated an internal investigation. We take these matters seriously and are committed to ensuring full accountability and transparency through the I love this. This struck me. I read this. I thought, where isn't it funny? I worked in Queensland Police Service. I see all the reports that come through from New South Wales and Victoria, South, all that. This fella's in America. This is in America. They all seem to have the same little spiel at the end. Hey, we want to be accountable. We ensure we want to be. We're committed to being accountable and transparency. And yet, accountability and transparency, when the police service or a police force saying, yep, we want to be accountable and transparency, I'll tell you this, it's only when it suits them. Absolutely only when it suits them. And if you're a police officer and you've gotten yourself into a bit of a pickle, and then the courts have said, hey, $500,000 bond, you know, and then the police service that you work for come out and say, "Oh, we're investigating, and but we want to ensure accountability and transparency," and they give out this much information, you know that they are throwing you to the wolves. That's what's happening. The only reason why I wanted to do this story is because I thought, wow, a lot of young police officers, you could learn from this. I see all these stories coming out still, even here in Queensland, still of police officers getting in trouble for hacking police computers. So what they're basically doing is just accessing information that they shouldn't be accessing, that they're not authorized, and then possibly passing information on, this kind of thing. But this is the problem, especially with young police officers. You're in the academy, you're at your first year, second year. You, like this chap. He's only 22, taking his police vehicle over state lines, arresting someone, trying to use his police powers out of his jurisdiction. You know how many times you see young police officers getting around and they think, you can see the attitude. They walk around, they think, yep, I'm a police officer now. I can kind of do whatever they want. They've got all this responsibility. They're all this responsibility, all this authority that they know that they have, but you still have to work within legal guidelines. So the reason why I wanted to look at this story briefly is just to say, learn from this clown's mistakes. Don't go beyond your jurisdiction. Don't go beyond your authority. And if there is any doubt at all that you shouldn't be doing something, that you're outside your jurisdiction, that maybe what you're doing is not within the legal limits, well, then don't do it. Just turn around and walk away. Turn around and walk away. That would be my advice. This fella is going to pay the ultimate price. He's going to pay the price because there is no way this police department is going to stand by him. I don't think. No way. Not with a kidnapping charge. Anyway, I just thought it was very interesting that, yeah, the attitude of young police officers, and because I saw quite a bit of it when I was in the police service in Queensland, you saw the attitude where people will get out there in their first, second year, and they'd be behaving like they can just go and do whatever they want. They are a police officer, so they have all the authority in the world. And it's that kind of attitude that gets you in trouble. Learn from his mistake. Don't go coloring outside the lines. You cannot do whatever you want just because you're a police officer. So think before you act, and think before you go and chuck handcuffs on someone and put him in the back of your police vehicle. Don't do an unlawful arrest, whatever you do. Anyway, this is all just my opinion. I'll let you know. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching the Aussie Police Watch, talking about American police. Later. You've been on my mind. Still see the way you move. Your body shimmers in that little black dress as you walk across the room. Now I've got nothing left to say. I've got one thing on my mind. You still take my breath away. Your body moves me through space and time.